Right now, as we know, this is a year for education funding reform and really an opportunity for us to have a conversation about educating our children into the 21st century. However, and I look forward to that discussion. However, there are a number of bills that have been proposed in the legislature by some of my colleagues that I think is putting a lot of stress on parents throughout the state of Connecticut. I've heard from a number of constituents from Norwalk as well and Darien, and that I believe need to be highlighted today so that we at least have a debate about those bills right now. And I have the opportunity to let parents speak about it and also have the opportunity to weigh in on the legislation as well.
Three proposed bills that, if enacted, will make it harder for families of special education students to get the help that they need. The burden on these families is already extraordinary, as we well know. At 35 years, my wife was forced to liquidate her 401k and spend literally countless hours educating herself on the ins and outs of special education law. We were lucky that we were at a place in our lives where she could quit her job and spend so much time on her son's education, because we found the system that was in place to help us actually worked against us more often than not. It got to the point where we had to hire a parent advocate to help us navigate the process. Many of these proposed bills seem as though very little research went into their authoring. These proposed bills already take an expensive, demoralizing process and make it harder on families desperate to provide a future of opportunity for their children. Understand at every level, from the building to the district to the state, the bare minimum is done to help these children who arguably have the greatest need for it. So that is why we've come here today to register our opposition, our strong opposition based on personal experience on these bills that have been proposed.
This week, as we gear towards the confirmation hearing for Betsy DeVos in Washington as the Education Secretary, currently right now she'd be the only person to be confirmed on a 50-50 tie, with the Vice President breaking the tie. Needless to say, she's very controversial. She's someone who doesn't understand that protecting disabilities is a federal right through IDEA, and somebody who actually said that we should have guns in schools to protect ourselves from grizzly bears. I was disappointed on Friday to learn that two of my colleagues have signed on to a letter supporting her, and I would hope that my colleagues would think about removing their name from those letters, because of the fact that I don't believe that she is a qualified person. Has never spent any time in a classroom, and again, doesn't help the efforts to educate our children. Doesn't help our efforts to have a race to the top as far as making sure that our children are prepared for the jobs of the 21st century across this country, and really is somebody who hasn't shown any type of ability to understand educational issues in her confirmation hearings.